Welcome to Shelly's Cuisine. Today we're going to make Guinness pork chops. Yes, and we're going to do it on the grill. But before we do that, we've got to get prepared. We have to make a brine to season our pork chops, and you can make it a day ahead. That's what I normally do. So consider this getting the brine ready. So a brine is a method of seasoning or marinating your meat where you use water, you use something sweet, and you use salt. So the sweetness would offset your salt, and that makes a very nice brine. So today we're going to do this with Guinness, and we're going to start off. We need 3 tablespoons of sea salt. So you can get your salt, you can get this at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, $5.99. Okay, it's always good to have loose sea salt on hand. We need 1 3/4 cups of water. And we need 2 tablespoons of molasses. So the molasses is really our sweetener. That's the thing about molasses. Got to get that off the spoon. Okay, and Guinness, 1 Guinness. So you will pour the whole Guinness. I just took the cap off just before I started, so make sure you don't open the Guinness until you're truly ready to do what you have to do. All right, I got most of the molasses off. Guess what? That's the brine. It's that simple. So I just want to stir this until I can feel that the salt has dissolved, melted, whatever you want to call it. So that's it for the brine. All right, we'll put some more of that. If you notice, some of the salt is still in the bottom. We're going to need that salt. So I have my 4 pork chops. You need a gallon container. There you go. So this recipe is for 4 pork chops, okay? Yes, you can do this with pork tenderloin. I've never tried to make Guinness chicken. I always try it with the pork chops. So I have my pork chops in, and I'm going to pour my liquid. And we need all the liquid, and we need all that salt. Some brines require ice, but this one does not. We're going to seal it, try to get the air out. And we are going to put this in the refrigerator. And I like to do mine overnight. As a minimum, I think you should let it brine for at least 4 hours. And so our Guinness pork chops is ready for brine. And don't forget that you have to turn it while it is marinating overnight or during the 4 hours that you want to do it for. It's best to put it in a flat pan, and so this way you get even distribution of the pork chops. So if I were going to do this for 4 hours, about 2 hours, you know, we have Alexa and everything. Alexa, give a timer for 2 hours and come back and just flip it. Okay, you want it to evenly marinate with the brine. Okay. So it's been 4 hours and we have discarded the brine off of our Guinness pork chops. And now we need to do the next part to get it ready for the grill. So we need about 6 garlic cloves, and we need about 2 teaspoons of fresh pepper, black pepper. Okay. And we will just get this ground up. Okay, so we want that to be pretty small, and we'll just get that out. This is the twist. It takes it to another level. Actually, using Guinness is a twist. Okay, now that we have our mixture, so we need to dry these pork chops. Okay, so we need about 3 sheets of paper towel. And we want to get the pork chops dry. And the reason why you dry the pork chops is if you put the pork chops on the grill and they're wet, they will not get a nice brown color. They'll be very pale. Okay? So we just want to make sure that we get the pork chops to be dry. You can smell the Guinness flavor on the pork chops. Yes, you can. All right, I'm gonna switch, and I need fresh paper towel because I want to continue drying. Just make a little sandwich, pretty easy. Get all the sides of the pork chop as well, and our last piece. Okay, so now I have 4 dry pork chops that have been brined in Guinness, and this is when I rub this mixture in to the pork chops. You rub it on the side, and then we're gonna grill it. You turn it over, get it on both sides. And so again, this mixture, just garlic and black pepper. Really gonna give a nice flavor to the grill of these pork chops. Get it on the sides, just rub it in there. Any extra, just pick that up and incorporate it. Okay, our pork chops are now ready for the grill. It's time to grill our Guinness pork chops. So I've lightly oiled the grill, and I'm using indirect heat, which basically means that I have the 2 burners on the end, and I turn off the burner in the middle, so that when we close it down, it'll be done on indirect heat. So that means that the pork chops will not be cooking on direct fire, but it'll all come together. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to look at it for a minute. I am going to turn it halfway in, and I'm cooking this at 300, and I will wait for my grill to get to 300, and I'll turn it halfway in. All right. Our pork chops are finished. I used the temperature and the thermometer and tested them. You should do your pork chops to 160 degrees, but me, I like mine a little more well done, so mine are at 170. But 160 is what most people like. I just like it a little bit more than that. All right, so we're gonna tent it, and we just close the top, we close the sides. We wanna leave a little bit of room in it so that the juices can settle. There you go. And we'll leave that for about 15 minutes and let it rest, and then we'll be able to serve. Thank you for visiting Shelly's Cuisine today and making Guinness pork chops with us. We had fun as usual. And please subscribe, hit the notification button, and you'll be able to find the recipe for Guinness pork chops on my website, www.shellyscuisine.com. Tune in next week to find out what we will twist next.